Just for the wicket out in Germany as the final whistles ring round the Bundesliga stadiums. I've got your predictions and the results coming up for match number 27, and of course the latest round of predictions for match number 28, and they're coming next. That's right, folks, back once again with another prediction video. Today we're taking a look back at match number 27 and of course a look forward to match number 28 out in the Bundesliga, and we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, smash your subscribe button, keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Bundesliga related, world football related. We're going to know here under one roofski. That's right, boys and girls. I'm on the road, yes, in Corona time. I'm on the road. You can't stop me talking, boys. Predictions got to come on in wherever I am in the world, on the road and all that kind of jazz. I want a big shout out, yes, to the boys, to the patrons, respect to my brothers. If you want to join the exclusive VIP gang of patrons for Blackburn Overseas, there is a link down below in your description. Check that sucker out. Of course, double match week this week. We got match number 28 coming next. Of course, match number 29 will be around about Wednesday or Thursday. But let's get into the thick of things, folks, and see how we got on in match number 27. Okay, folks, so let's take a look at how we all got on last weekend. I'm going to kick it all off with me, of course. So let's get into it and take a little look. Okay, so Hertha Berlin won the Battle of the Berlin Bad Boys 4-0 in the end. Quite convincing win. Actually with a 2-1 win for Hertha, so not too shabby on that bad boy. Next up, it was Freiburg up against Werder Bremen. Monster win for Werder Bremen, 1-0 in the end. Actually went 1-0, but I went the other way in favour of Freiburg. So a good positive win for Werder Bremen, but they still need points on the board. Next up, it was Wolfsburg up against Dortmund. I struggled on this one. I went with a 2-2 draw, but ultimately it went in favour of the BVB boys. That's right, 2-0 win as Wolfsburg had a man sent off on that match. So a big win for Dortmund to keep up the pressure on the leaders. Then my boys, they crumbled to a 3-1 home battering to Champions League chasers as well by Leverkusen. 3-1 in the end. I actually went with a 2-0 win for Borussia, so wrong on that one. Not too great this comeback since the lockdown for me. However, I did get a little bit better as Paderborn and Hoffenheim drew 1-1. Over in Paderborn, actually went with a 0-0 draw, so I got the draw right. And I also got the next one right with a victory for Bayern, but who didn't get this one right? 5-2 win for Bayern in the end. I went with a 3-0 win as Bayern maintained their 4-point lead at the top of the table. Schalke, they succumbed to a 3-0 loss at home to Augsburg. Probably one of the surprises of the weekend. Actually, went with a 1-1 draw in this one. And then towards the back end of the weekend, it was Mainz against Leipzig. Comfortable win, a very, very convincing away win for Leipzig, 5-0 in the end. Actually went with a 2-0 win. So again, not too shabby on that bad boy. And wrapping up this weekend's action was Köln up against Dusseldorf. And it looked like it was going to be plain sailing for Dusseldorf as they cruised to a 2-0 lead up until two late goals for Köln to give themselves a monstrous point as they strive towards mid-table. Dusseldorf look like they're in a bit of trouble as they cannot get out of that playoff spot despite drop points around them. So yeah, big point in the end. And the table shows not too much change at the tip of the top. Bayern still lead the way quite comfortably. Dortmund still in second. Big movers. Leverkusen moving up into the top four. Leipzig as well back into contention. The biggest losers probably Bayern, Borussia Mönchengladbach falling into fifth. Down the bottom, big win for Werder Bremen, and as well as Dusseldorf. Paderborn look completely lost at sea. So here's the criteria, just in case you don't know, in case you're new to the scene. 0 to 3, you're in the shit-face gang. 4 to 5, you're in the shit-face club, just like me. And 6+, you're in the top banana. There's a couple of those out this weekend. Are you one of them? Well, let's get into it. So let's take a look at how you boys and girls got on this time out. Kicking off with Table Tennis Twins, not too shabby. Big Bird did also pretty well as well. Pamahuta Madamashanka did very, very well. Give him a round of applause. But there is an edit, so dubious. We'll have to see how he pans out for the next few days if the edits continue. Ishan Oja Boss did all right for himself as well. Ramesh Subkopka, not too shabby. Kevin Wright, also with an edit, not too shabby. Finn, 2407, not too shabby as well. Amen Umya, not too shabby. Carl BTW, round of applause for you, brother. Well, no edit there. Shane O'Donnell, not too shabby. Chila, ain't too shabby as well. Sports Famous Arena, not too bad. So Hustle Hasoda did do not too shabby for this weekend. Costas K, not too shabby. Bianca Muller also did pretty well for herself. Vincent Hung, yeah, not too shabby as well. LG and Cow, respect to my brother. Did tip-top banana for him. Slow Ride Channel, not too shabby as well. Aaron Harvey, though it did absolute shit. He needs to buck up his trend heading into the midweek fixtures. So does Johnny Talks Bundesliga. He usually talks sense, but he got it wrong this weekend with a big fat red one. Yannick Buster also did not too shabby. Nathan Brown, he squeezed in there at the end with a Dusseldorf result. And Il Maciano del Nonna Isa, not too bad as well. Again, scraping it in with the draw with Köln up against Dusseldorf. And Joachim Johansson, respect to my brother, but unfortunately, brother, you're in the shit-faced gang this time around. Okay, folks, let's kick it all off with the big one. That's right, second place Borussia Dortmund up against Bayern München. It'll be over in Dortmund this coming Tuesday night. That's right. Now, the last 6 encounters between two sides sees 2 wins for Dortmund, 4 wins for Bayern, and 0 draws along the way. They did play in Bavaria earlier in the season. It was a 4-0 win, convincing win for the champions, with goal scorers Lewandowski with a brace, Gnabry as well, and a big fat OG from Mats Hummels against one of his former clubs, of course. The last time they played against, last time Dortmund played Bayern at home in the league was back in November 2018. They did come out victorious as well, a 3-2 with Marco Reus brace, Paco Alcazar as well on the score sheet with Lewandowski as well with a brace. Heading into this, Dortmund actually won their last 6 Bundesliga matches, and Bayern have also won their last 6 away Bundesliga matches. So this one is very, very tight one to call. As of recording, the bookmakers' odds is 13-5 for Dortmund for the victory, 17-20 for Bayern for the victory. So 3-1 is the draw. Also heading into this, of course, Bayern do have a lead over Dortmund in the table, but good 4 points difference, but it could be halved or at least shrunk down to 1 point if Dortmund are victorious on this one. Very, very close one to call this, but I'm going to go with Dortmund surprising us all here with a 2-1 win at home to snatch the 3 points and make the Bundesliga title race alive once again. Next up, we have strugglers Werder Bremen up against my boys Borussia Mönchengladbach. That's right, Werder Bremen coming into this 17th in the table, winning last time out, of course. Mönchengladbach, though, coming into this in 5th spot at the moment, behind Bayern Leverkusen and Leipzig, a win away from going back into those 4th place spots. So this match obviously taking place in Bremen. The last 6 encounters sees 1 win for Bremen, 3 wins for Gladbach, and 2 draws along the way. They played in Mönchengladbach earlier in the season. It was a 3-1 win for Borussia. Goal scorers Hermann with a brace, Besabiani got himself sent off and a goal, not in that order as well. Werder Bremen's one and only goal coming from Leonardo Bittencourt, deep into stoppage time. Last time played in Bremen as well was another 3-1 win for Mönchengladbach. Alassani Pli with a hat-trick, and Nuri Sarin, the goal scorer for Werder Bremen. Bremen have actually lost their last 7 home matches, whereas Mönchengladbach have actually scored at least 3 goals in their last 3 away matches. So they like playing away. It's tricky. This game takes place on. Does it also take place on Tuesday? It does. The bookmakers' odds is 40-5 for Werder Bremen, 5-4 on for Mönchengladbach, 3-1 the draw. A win for Mönchengladbach could move them into the top 4, at least for 24 hours, depending on, of course, the other games taking place. For me, of course, these are my boys. I've not really got a successful pick since we've returned, but I'm going to go with a 2-1 away win for Mönchengladbach to take it, and then maybe get themselves back into Champions League reckoning. Next up, Eintracht Frankfurt up against Freiburg. Frankfurt coming to this as of recording towards the bottom end of the table. Freiburg actually back into Europa contention now in 7th spot. However, just won once the past 6 games. Frankfurt on a 5-game losing streak, so they could get sucked into a relegation battle as it stands. And we're heading into this game takes place also on Tuesday, 26th of May. The last 6 encounters sees 2 wins for Freiburg, 2 wins for Frankfurt, and 2 draws along the way. They played in Frankfurt earlier in the season. It was a 1-0 win. Niels Pettersson on the score sheet, 77 minutes, 3 red cards on this day. Gelson Fernandez with a double yellow, getting himself sent off. David Abraham and Vincenzo Grifo both getting sent off for both Freiburg and Frankfurt respectively. The last time I played in Frankfurt, there was a 3-1 win around about January 2019. Sebastian Haller on the score sheet, Rebic as well, Luka Jovic on the score sheet for Frankfurt, Niels Pettersson again on the score sheet for Freiburg. Frankfurt have actually lost their last 5 Bundesliga matches and conceded at least 3 goals in the last 3 matches as well. So they'll be up against it against Freiburg. Whereas the bookmakers' odds on this one? The bookmakers' odds are 11-10 in favour of Frankfurt. They are the favourites. 27-10 is the draw. 27-10 is also the away win. A win for Frankfurt could see them jump a couple of spots, at least up to 12th spot. Maybe, just maybe. Freiburg, if they're victorious, they could get themselves back in the 6th. That's a Europa League spot. Who'd have thunk it, folks? Who'd have thunk it? At the start of the season, Freiburg would be in the mix for a potential Europa League spot. For me, on this one, I'm going to go with a cheeky 2-0 win for Frankfurt. They're going to break the hoodoo, get back to winning ways, and then maybe just get themselves climbing up the table. Next up, last weekend's high flyers is Bayer Leverkusen, of course, back into the Champions League reckoning at the moment on points. They're taking on Wolfsburg this midweek. The last 6 encounters sees 3 wins for Leverkusen, 1 win for Wolfsburg, and 2 draws along the way. They did play in Wolfsburg earlier in the season. It was a 2-0 win for Leverkusen. Karim Belrabi and Paulinho on the score sheet for Leverkusen, and the last time they played in Leverkusen was a 3-1 win going the other way for Wolfsburg, with a big fat OG from Ramazan Özcan, Wout Weghorst, and Renato Stefan scoring for Wolfsburg. Leon Bailey, the one and only goal for Leverkusen. So it's pretty even. However, the form is probably with Bayer Leverkusen on the moment. They've actually won the past 5 games, five of the past 5 games, whereas Wolfsburg just won once of the past 5. That was against Augsburg as we've returned from the old lockdown. Leverkusen won the last 4 matches at home, and they've been scoring goals aplenty as well. Bookmakers odds on this one. This takes place on also on Tuesday, I believe. 3-4 on for Leverkusen for the victory. 14-5 is the draw. 10-3 is the away win. A win for Leverkusen could see them rise up to 3rd spot on the table, whereas Wolfsburg are in 6th. A win for them could just get them closer to maybe getting into the 5th spot. Seems to be a 5-horse race for the Champions League spots at the moment. Wolfsburg are out of it. They're in their own battle for their Europa League spot at the moment. So it's going to be a tough old boots, this one again. What have I gone for? I've gone with a 3-1 win for Leverkusen to snatch the 3 points, and with the 3 goals as well. Scoring aplenty. They are adapting to life without fans pretty good, as are Schalke. We'll talk more about Schalke, not Schalke, Hertha Berlin. Hertha Berlin have adapted to life without fans very, very well. They're going to take on no high flyers at Leverkusen, Leipzig this weekend. Let's talk about that then, shall we? These last 6 encounters sees 5 wins for Leipzig, 1 win for Berlin. They played in Berlin early in the season. It was around about November time. 4-2 thriller in favour of Leipzig. Timo Werner with a brace. Kevin Campbell alongside Marcel Sabitzer on score sheet for Leipzig. Goal scorers for Berlin with Maximilian Mittelstadt and Davy Selke scoring late on to give Hertha Berlin a bit of credit. Last time I played in Leipzig, there was a 5-0 win for Leipzig. Poulsen with a hat-trick, Hedera and Forsberg on the score sheet for Leipzig as well. Of course, they're trying to get themselves in the top 2, top 3. Leipzig have actually drawn their last 3 matches in the Bundesliga. Berlin, in fact, that's a lie. They actually won. They won this weekend, right? So that's not necessarily a fact. Hertha Berlin have actually scored at least 2 goals in the last 4 away matches as well. A win for Berlin. They are currently finding themselves 10th of the table. Could find themselves up as high as 7th. A win for Leipzig could see them go as high as 2nd in the table. The bookmakers odds on this bad boy taking place on Wednesday is 11-4 on for Leipzig. 4-1 is the draw. 13-2 is the away win as well. Going to go with a cheeky 2-0 win for Leipzig on this one. They've been good, not been great, but they've been good, and they'll get themselves another win here to get themselves keeping them in the pace for the top 2, and then, of course, looking forward to match number 29. Next up, we have Augsburg up against Paderborn, taking place this Mittwoch. Yeah, Mittwoch, die 27 Mai. There we go, throwing that bad boy out there. The last 6 encounters between the 2 sides see 4 wins for Augsburg, 1 win for Paderborn, 1 draw along the way. They played in Paderborn earlier in the season. It was a 1-0 win for Augsburg. Philip Marks on the goal scoring sheet. The last time they played in Paderborn was a 2-1 win as well, also in the Bundesliga back in 2015. Augsburg actually lost their last 4 matches in the Bundesliga. They've also conceded at least 2 goals in the last 4 matches as well. Paderborn, of course, looking pretty much inevitable for the drop. They've drawn the past 2 games, but a win away from going back up, potentially up to 17th, above Werder Bremen. Their opponents, Augsburg, are in 12th, a win away from going as high, possibly up to 11th. We shall see about that bad boy. The bookmakers' odds on this son of a gun taking place on Wednesday, 11-10 for Augsburg on, so they are the favourites. 11-4 is the draw. 27-10 is the away win. I've gone with on this one. A 1-0 win, just a boring 1-0 win, just over the line for Augsburg to snatch the points and again move up to safety, mid-table, out of all this relegation hoodoo. One team is also kind of hitting a bit of a rough patch at the moment. It's Union Berlin. They're taking on Mainz this midweek. Union Berlin's form is a bit ropey, just 1 win in the past 6, and that's got of course gone way back, but it's 3 defeats on the spin. Taking on Mainz, though, they're also not the greatest form at the moment, at least 1 win in the past 6 games as well. The last 6 encounters between these 2 sides, these 2 wins for Union Berlin, 3 wins for Mainz, 1 draw along the way. The last time they played, it was in Mainz. It was a 3-2 win for Union Berlin. Sebastian Anderson with a brace, Daniel Dorosinski with a big for OG. He also got himself a normal goal in the right end late on to give him Mainz a bit of credit, and Karim Onewuso also on the score sheet for Mainz. The last time they played in Mainz was a 2-1 win. The last time they played in Union Berlin was back in 2004 in the Zweite Bundesliga. It was a 1-1 draw. Weber and Florian Bruns on the score sheet that day. Union Berlin have actually lost their last 3 matches. We talked about that, and Union Berlin have actually conceded at least 2 goals in the last 4 matches as well. The bookmakers odds on this one, what have we got? 5-4 on for Union Berlin. 5-2 is the draw. 2-1 for Mainz. Union Berlin are favourites according to this. A win for them could see, hang on a minute, a win for them could see Union Berlin, who are in 13th, could go as high as 11th. Whereas Mainz could shoot themselves up possibly as high as 12th, give or take a spot or 2. What have I gone for this one? I've gone for the 2-0 win for Union Berlin to snatch the 3 points and give themselves another boost as their first season back in the Bundesliga has proved to be very, very successful. Who do we have next up on the platter? We have Hoffenheim up against Köln. Coming into this, Hoffenheim, well, in fact, the last 6 encounters between 2 sides, 4 wins for Hoffenheim, 1 win for Köln, and 1 draw along the way. They did play over in Köln early in the season. It was a 2-1 win. Hoffenheim's goals came from Sajis Adeyemayan and Jürgen Lekendinda from the penalty spot. John Cordoba got score sheet for Köln. The last time they played in Hoffenheim, though, was all the way back in 2018, around about March. 6-0 win for Hoffenheim. Gnabry with a brace. Steven Zuber, Mark Ute, Lucas Rupp on the score sheet, just off the top of my head. Hoffenheim actually conceded at least 3 goals in the last 3 home matches, and have also lost the last 3 home matches as well. So the home form very, very shaky. Bookmakers odds on this one, they will go with Hoffenheim 30-10. Köln 9-5, 13-5 is the draw. So I believe Hoffenheim are favourites. A win for Hoffenheim. They currently find themselves in 9th. A win away from going out to the 6th spot, of course. Köln around about mid-table at the moment. They could also shoot themselves into the top 10 if they are victorious this weekend. So tough one, this one. I like Köln, but Hoffenheim, of course, their home form is ropey. They've just had a ropey batch of form. In fact, let me have a little look at it. They haven't won in the last 6. But I think they'll get a point out of this one, 1-1 in the end, to give themselves another point as their mid-table season comes to a bit of a grinding halt. And finally, who do we have here? It's Fortuna Dusseldorf up against Schalke. Taking place in Dusseldorf. Last 6 encounters sees 1 win for Dusseldorf, 3 wins for Schalke, 2 draws along the way. They did play in Schalke early in the season, around about November. 3-3 draw, 6-goal barnstormer. Rowan Hennings with a hat-trick. Schalke's goals coming from Daniel Cagliari, Oskan Karabach, and Suat Serdar. The last time they played in Dusseldorf was all the way back in 2018. Schalke was victorious, 2-0 win. In the end, back in 2018. Schalke actually failed to win the last 8 matches in the Bundesliga. Dusseldorf actually drawn the last 3 matches as well. And Schalke have also failed to score in the last 5 matches away from home. So this could be a chance for Dusseldorf to get some points on the board. 31-20, the home team. That's Dusseldorf. 12-5, the draw. 13-8 is the away win. And Schalke currently find themselves in 8th spot, a win away from going potentially into the top 6. Dusseldorf struggling, of course. They need some points on the board to get themselves out of the old playoff spot. But will they get it this weekend? For me, I don't know. I'm going to go with a 3-1 away win for Schalke. That will improve their Europa League spots, and it'll leave Fortuna Düsseldorf still struggling towards the foot of the table. So, friends, if this is how the results were to pan out, this is how the table would look like after match day number 28. Things looking good still, of course, at the top of the table for the leaders, or the big boys, Bayern and Dortmund. Leipzig doing very, very well as well. Mönchengladbach still trying to tread water with Leverkusen, but it is still up for grabs. Anyone's race in that top 5, but still advantage Bayern. That's just in case if it goes my way. Of course, if it goes the other way, Bayern could be a whopping 7 points clear. Of course, and down the foot of the table, no major change, as Paderborn and Werder Bremen still look like they're going down. That's pretty much all I've got for you today, folks. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash that thumbs up. And of course, if you're new, smash a subscribe. New videos every single day on the channel, whether it's FIFA, Football Manager predictions, GeoGuessers. We've got it all here, babies, under one roofski. We'll be back on Wednesday/Thursday for match number 29 out in the Bundesliga. And of course, looking forward to the La Liga return. That was announced this week. That'll be around about the 8th or something around about that, 8th, early June, La Liga. So we're going to be looking forward to doing those predictions very, very soon. And then hopefully Serie A and the Premier League Championship, they will be not far behind as well. So slowly but surely, things are getting back to normal. Again, feel free to check out the old description. Links to my other social media platforms are in there. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook, and of course I'm on Patreon if you want to support the channel in another way besides viewership. Price for less than a bang a month. That's right. You can subscribe or become a Patreon for the channel, and you become a best friend for life, brother. Best friend for life. Join the exclusive VIP gang. There's a link in there, baby. Patreon.com/Overseas, I think, or Blackburn Overseas, one of those two. It's in the description. Check it out. I'll be forever your buddy, and we'll be connected for life. Anyway, until then, boys and girls, I'll be back Thursday again, maybe Wednesday, Thursday for match day number 29. The Bundesliga is in full throttle as Mönchengladbach collapse. Anyway, we'll talk more about that next time. Until then, be sure to get your predictions in down below. I'm out.